Hey everybody. This is your friendly neighborhood Rush fan, Neil Peart fans. Real name is Eric. I'm from Hershey, Pennsylvania. And with the start of the Rush channel that Abby did, she did a awesome kind of Q&A and thought, well, maybe it'd be a good idea if like the Rush family kind of did it together and we all kind of pitched in on this, maybe made a couple of little videos and answered some questions that people pushed out. And I also added a couple that Abby had answered just to kind of add in the mix here. So that being said, here we go. Let me see what people submitted and a couple from Abby's, and we'll see what happens. But first one was, what was your idea behind the Neil Peart fans account? Well, it originally started as Neil Peart Problems, which was a buddy of mine said, we should do something like some of the people do on Twitter where they'll have like President Obama problems or something, and he'll say like, boy, the corned beef hash in the cafeteria stinks or something like that, And so we kind of transposed that over to Neil and made some stuff. And then after a couple of days into that, we received notice from somebody, nobody affiliated with Rush, that if you tweet as Neil, like if I was tweeting as Neil Peart, there would be a problem. Totally cool with that. So it just shifted the whole idea of it to the Neil Peart Fanatics. Made a lot more sense. And then just the other day, I actually changed the name to Neil Peart Fans. It had been Neil Peart Probs forever. But that was the idea behind it. Wasn't a lot on Twitter about Neil. He does, Praetorian X1, which is his, but it's not really him tweeting. And he doesn't tweet that often. And in fact, ever since R40's over with, it pretty much stopped. So tried to keep it going, input from everybody, a ton of folks that post on there. I may retweet or something or whatever. And then my own stuff, that y'all tend to like or not like, but I try. Anyway, when did I get into Rush? Wow. I'm 43. I was born in 73. So, yeah, I know. I'm old. And here's the grade to prove it. Anyway, about 85, I think. What got me into it was the video for The Big Money. Oddly enough, one of the cheesiest, corniest videos they did. But for the mid-'80s, as a kid, 11, 12-year-old kid, it was really cool. So that was what got me into them. And I immediately, at the time, I was an aspiring drummer. I was taking lessons and all that. And I immediately fell in love with Neil. My first concert or tour. First concert. Okay, I'll go Rush and non-Rush. All right. So I had a really cool dad, an actual biker, beard down to here, looks like Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. He passed away in '95. He took me to my first concert, which was Kiss. Okay. Believe it or not, I was 6 years old. I know. I had a really cool dad. It was the Dynasty Tour, 1980, I think. First Rush concert, 86 in Austin, Frank Irwin Center, Power Windows Tour. Okay. What did I think was the coolest part of R40? That's kind of hard to choose because the way that they did it, going present to past, was awesome. And when you kind of figured out what they were doing, and it just kind of blew your mind. Wow, they're really taking the stage apart, going all the way back to playing in high schools. That was it. If I had to choose anything, what made me, it had to be the rap and roll the bones when all the different celebrities were up there. It was like, wow, you really got to see all these other folks that were kind of giving them their due and, that were part of it and all that. I got to go with that. Let's see. Out of all the Rush shows you've seen, what's the one moment that stands out above all the rest? Wow. The end of the R40 tour. Now that everything's kind of tied off, documentary's done, we know it's pretty much the end. The end of the R40 tour, when the house lights came on, after hearing the end of the set and the end of the encore, and you knew that it was over, nobody left. Nobody. Me and my buddy, a very good friend of mine who we've been into Rush probably about the equal years, We were second row, dead center in Philly for that stop, and house lights come on. It just, and I'm tearing up about it because we all just stopped and just looked around at each other, and people that lived halfway around the world. There was a couple in front of us that were from Japan. He had a denim jacket on, was covered in buttons from all these different tours, and here he was in the front row, almost dead center, and talking to them, and just getting hugs from people that you don't know, but you're Rush fans, and it's over. And I don't even want to think about it. I'm going to move on. This kind of goes into the next question. Is R40 the end? Was Time Tan still a goodbye? Yes. And yes, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. I have no idea. I know something's supposed to be announced soon. Hey, who knows? I don't think it's going to be another tour. I do agree with Eddie Trunk, who says Rush would not do anything to their fans like, say, Kiss, ironically, that has had a bunch of goodbye tours or anything. They wouldn't do anything like that that would pull more money or something out of their fan base. It's just not their way. Cliched, some folks have said it's Canadian. Totally get that. But I agree with Eddie on that. That would not be Rush's way of saying goodbye, would not be to start a tour by saying that they're saying goodbye. So, no, I think it's over. I'm totally cool with it. I know I'd love to see more stuff. Absolutely. More power to them. I don't mind what Neil decided. I totally get it with what he went through, having a new child who's probably 6 or 7 now, and just wanting to be a dad, take some time off and rest. I mean, I marched, I sports or whatever. I couldn't do 3 hours doing what he's doing, a night in and night out at 63, 64 years of age. Forget it. No way. And I understand, Neil. All the best, man. You do what you want to do. You've earned it, Bubba. Okay, some favorites. What's the best Rush song and why is it Xanadu? I see what you did there. Cool. I don't have a favorite Rush song. I can't say what the best is. Certainly the most popular is probably Tom Sawyer, if you want to say that. My favorite, I just kind of have to go with The Big Money just because it was my favorite first song and all that. Xanadu, yeah, I like it. It's great. Is it the best Rush song? I don't know. I mean, you ask 100 different Rush fans, you're going to get 100 different answers. That's one thing that's really cool about having 40 years worth of material to frickin' choose from. My favorite album, I'm going to have to say Vapor Trails. That, after the hiatus, and, you kind of go into the Beyond the Lighted Stage documentary when the title track is playing and you see Neil's return and Carrie's pictures and all that, and you're just sitting there with tears coming down your feet just thinking what this guy went through and all that. To record that album and come back the way they did, yes, it was overproduced, whatever, opinions vary. To see that and then to turn around and say, this is what they put out. This was a comeback, and this was Neil saying, I got to get these emotions out. There's no way that I cannot deal with it. Yeah, I think it is what he said. I totally think that Vapor Trail still today, if I listen to the title track, it still evokes that emotion. Song or album that I don't like. Can't do that. Sorry. Favorite Neil solo. Batterista was probably one of them. I don't really have a favorite. I love the fact that he can put something 5 to 7 minutes together that's masterful and then turn around and do it for another tour and turn around and do maybe 2 or 3 in a tour like this last one. That was freaking awesome. Gun to your head, eliminate 10 songs from the catalog. As John Cleese said in Monty Python's Life of Brian, blasphemy. Can't do it. Sorry. No way. What is your favorite piece of Rush memorabilia that you own or have seen? That I own. Wow. I have a bunch of concert posters and a lot of books. I have a couple of signed books from Neil. My favorite piece, though, I would have to say that I own is the Getty Lisa, which was done by our good buddy Fantunes that I'm sure you've seen on on Twitter. The guy does a phenomenal job. Have I ever met Neil or Rush? No and yes. I have met Rush at a meet and greet. I have not met Neil. Sorry. I don't know him. I've never corresponded with him. I'm just a fan. That's all I am. I don't have... If I ever saw him sitting and reading a book or something, I might walk up and just say, hey, man, just want to say hi. Take care. See you later. I totally get what he said about being the world's biggest Who fan and not wanting to go to their hotel room. I don't want to bother the guy either. The guy deserves his privacy. You know, I've met plenty of celebrities and all that, and they all vary. I did meet Getty and Alex at a meet and greet. It was short. It was kind of rushed, no pun intended. But Alex was very funny. He made a funny joke about when I kind of squeezed him when we all kind of get in there together. And he got into that bag voice, you know. He's like, oh, sir, don't hurt me, you know, something like that. Loved it. One of the cherished moments. Have I ever met any other famous drummers? Sure. Mike Portnoy. I've met Mark Portnoy. I've met Mike Mangini. Really nice guy. Probably the nicest guy in Dream Theater. And when I met Dream Theater, everybody was a sourpuss except Mike. And I totally commend him and respect him for that. Same thing with Mike Portnoy. Very approachable, very nice. I met him with Billy Sheehan and Richie Kotzen when they were doing Winery Dogs. Local venue. All of them very approachable. Got to do a meet and greet with them. Frank Beard. I've met Frank Beard as ZZ Top. Bill Ward. Let me think. I don't know. Some of them may come up to me. What band would surprise us, Rush fans, in your iTunes playlist? Wow. Well, no Nickelback, so kill that. I don't have any of that in there. I would say probably Alabama, the country artist. And a lot of 70s singer-songwriter stuff. Slow, you know, singer-songwriter stuff. What album would I recommend to a newbie? Which was one of Abby's questions that she got. I thought about that, and I'm going to take the easy, cheap route. And I'm going to say Chronicles. Kind of gives them a, you know, up till what? Late 80s gives them that. If I was to say, all right, take it off and just take an album. Oh, boy. I think Counterparts or Test for Echo would be a good one because it kind of gives you a mix, kind of in the middle of the you know, the careers 20 years back, 20 years forward. One of the two. Clockwork wouldn't be a bad, you know, for somebody that's a modern if they're you know, too young to really know and not really understand and appreciate the older stuff. Some of these, you know, folks ask me thinking that maybe that I was like a Rush insider. I'm not even close. What songs got taken off the list for R40? I have no idea. So how I decided to answer that was what songs would I have liked to have seen added? And no particular order. Limelight, I would have liked to have heard it one more time. La Via Strangiato, it goes without saying, although they did a phenomenal array of a lot of the La Via type songs in there. I would have liked to have heard Entre Nous, you know. Red Barchetta, one of my faves, and I love it live, and it was not played in Philly. I think it was played in other venues. I think they could have did a trade. One of the things I was just a hair disappointed at, and I know that's blasphemy too, I'm sorry, I hate to use the word disappointed, was that Presto got skipped. I know it's not everybody's favorite, and it was kind of during that time period when they were really transitioning, but I would have liked to have heard The Pass or even the title track. I love the title track. And another one I would have liked to have heard live would have been the Vapor Trails title track. Because of the Beyond the Lighted Stage, just when that was the comeback, it would have evoked some more emotion. Do you know if Rush will come and perform in Mexico? I don't know a lot of Spanish. I was born in West Texas, so all I can say is "que," you know. Sorry, bud, I don't know. No idea. Do you really know Eddie Trunk? No. I have met him, and it was in Las Vegas. Just a chance meeting. He was there to see... we were both there to see Black Sabbath, and then he was also there to see Anthrax and might have been Avenged Sevenfold. Anyway, He was there. He was very approachable, very nice guy. Took a picture with me. We talked for a little bit. And I call into his show every once in a while on Sirius XM. It's a great show. The guy's the flag bearer for all things hard rock and metal. And he's very approachable. He's very nice. And he's very knowledgeable. Oh, let's see. Why is being a Rush fan more special compared to other bands like Grateful Dead? Great question. Okay, easy way to answer it. So you think about the Time Stands Still documentary. Jillian Marinievich, who took over, I probably just butchered her last name. Sorry, who was part of RushCon and then was on Obama's one of Obama's marketing folks. She said, if you see somebody with a Rush shirt, you immediately have to walk over to them and start talking to them. And she's right. She is 110% correct. I don't know of any other band on the planet that you can say has that kind of phenomena going on. And let me explain. There are fan bases that may be bigger. I get that. And maybe longer, but not by much. 5-10 years longer. You got some Rolling Stones folks and Grateful Dead and all these folks and tight knit. I get it, but how often you see somebody with a Grateful Dead shirt, you may, hey, what's up, man? Hey, I'm a fan too, cool shirt, You see somebody with a Rush shirt, and like my wife says, I've lost you for 30 minutes because I know you're going to walk up and talk to them. I mean, I was on a cruise ship in the middle of the Mediterranean, and I see a guy that was from Scotland that has a Rush shirt on, and next thing you know, we're buds immediately. Hey, what did you just see him? Did you just see him? Hey, yeah, cool. What's your favorite? It's immediate. And if you're a Rush fan, you get it. You know what I mean? I mean, I've met 3,000 or so of you guys on Twitter from all over the world. And nobody knows me. Maybe one or two people have actually ever met me that are on Twitter. My friend Chris, who's a very big Rush fan and a judge back in West Texas. My friend Travis, one of my best friends, who he has seen the last two tours with me. The last one was Second Row Center, bucket list item, R40. And you get it. You get it if you do. You have the stuff. You have to show that you are a Rush fan. You're proud. You don't care. You geek out. You don't care. You don't give a shit. It is Rush. And good way to explain it, I think. I'm a graduate of Texas A&M, and one of the statements that we had, Texas A&M is a special kind of university in the sense that a lot of esoteric stuff, a lot of traditions and all that, and a lot of respect and for others and all, diversity and all. And one of the statements that they say at Texas A&M is, from the outside looking in, you can't understand it. From the inside looking out, you can't explain it. So if you're part of that, you have the mind meld. You have the Star Trek mind meld immediately. And you see these people, and that's the only way that I can say. I mean, just like I talked about at the end of our 40, when the house lights went up and we all just stood there, and it was like, I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are, but give me a hug, because this may be it. No other way to explain it. So anyway, that was fun. I hope y'all are having a great time. Love to see others. Absolutely. Love to see others. And let me know what you think, man. Everybody take care, and rush on. Take care.